Someone needs to hear this very badly. I wasn't planning on doing any videos, taking the weekend off, but this is like a full force message with so much energy behind it. This is definitely the scales are finally tipping. It's full force. What goes around comes around. Someone attached to you is going through some sort of karmic reckoning. The reason I was hesitant to post this was because I was presented with the thoughts or reactions that come from some of you. Like, there's this reaction that a lot of you don't really want bad things to happen to this person this reading is about. You aren't a fan of karma necessarily in that way. Regardless of how bad they were or the bad things that they do, you still want the best for others. But this is more than just like ill will or bad intention. This is universal laws of rebalancing at play here. So I encourage you to hear this message out anyway, even if the thought of karma feels wrong to you. There's probably something important in here for you. Who I'm speaking to today has been hurt or is feeling deeply hurt still. I get this is like a particular person, but I also see smaller energies around this as well. So this could be like multiple people or multiple situations. You may be feeling more anger towards them come up occasionally. Specific instances replay of past events or harm or injustice or just feeling like what they did was wrong. And you never really got your moment of like telling them. You kind of had to like suppress all of it. I see here. So this seems like a message for a really small group of people who really need this message, but also who have walked away from a person or are no longer in contact with someone or multiple someones who actively hurt them over and over again. So this isn't like a casual hurt. This isn't like an accidental oopsie daisy. This is like actively choosing to hurt you over and over, or simply just not caring at all that they kept doing it. Do you guys know that feeling like when you pick up something and you think it's much heavier than what it actually is? Like maybe a glass you assume is more full. And so your brain tricks you and you use like too much strength to pull at it. That's really specific, but this is precisely how I see this timeline evolving for you. Is you think the pain is going to last or be stronger at a specific instance or at a specific place. And then you're like, wow, that's it? I thought it would be so much heavier at this point. I'm used to it being so heavy. I thought it would be heavy. This one's weird too, but like thirst keeps coming up. I don't know if you change something in your routine or you're focusing on your water intake or how much you're intaking lately as a whole. There's something significant in the pattern of thirst or lack thereof. So I'll leave that in the comments as it relates to this energy we're talking about today. But ultimately, I think this message is going to be focused on this very small collective who has left a person or people who have actively harmed them in some way over and over again. You did something really strong for yourself and you either walked away or you are maintaining no contact after this. It doesn't matter who left first. It's just that you're maintaining the no contact. And the years 2021 to 2023 could be significant. Again, that'll be in the comments as well. It's really important that I say you are not imagining anything here. You are not imagining anything here. That's very, very important. You are not imagining how destructive this person or these people or this circumstance is and are. You walked away or cut communication off. And I kind of see there was like a lot of manipulation in the relationship or situations that you couldn't clearly see until you had that space, that alone time, that reflection to look back on it. Now all this anger is coming up randomly because your subconscious is recognizing, hey, that wasn't right. That's your healing, even if it feels hard and keeps bringing up those moments you don't want to replay. It's like integrating within you that you will never accept that treatment again. So during this dysfunctional situation, whatever it was for you, this person or these people unconsciously manipulated you. I don't see it really being intentional, but it led you to believe that you were the problem. It kind of gave you this distortion of the situation. They really might not have done this on purpose. I kind of just see them not being fully self-aware enough to hold what was happening. But by doing so, you learned over time when they hurt you to look at yourself and ask, okay, what do I need to be better? to stop this from happening. You, instead of looking at the situation from a objective viewpoint, you were just looking at yourself like, I can fix this. I can do better. I can make the situation better. What's also interesting is there's an overcorrection period here with where you are now, is like you're in this place of healing, and you might double down as you learn to like balance responsibility and connections. So you might overcorrect for a while in new connections. You might be noticing that you're overcorrecting, like you're not able to take any responsibility. That will just be temporary, I see, until you learn this balance. But like you took so much responsibility in the past that now any responsibility feels wrong, which is, I think, totally normal as you learn that balance. And so it's interesting because you were conditioned to believe that this was your responsibility to bear. And I do see childhood connections here, but this person in this situation, in the circumstance, was conditioned of the opposite through you. So it's like taking on that responsibility that you took for them confirmed that they are not responsible for anything. They're responsible for nothing. And they truly, truly believe that. And they're still having issues unlearning that. But I don't think that that's what this message is about. It's not about that they'll never have to take responsibility. It's about karma, not them just living in bliss and never taking responsibility again. I just think it's important you know that this dynamic taught you both two distortions, that they're never responsible for anything and that you're over responsible for everything. So this person or these people walked away still thinking that they did nothing wrong because of that distortion in this relationship. They aren't really developed like you, so they can't really hold the truth in the way you can, which makes taking responsibility almost completely impossible because they're not reflecting on their behavior like you are. I see you very much reflecting on everything. But here's the shift of what's being shown with this karmic wheel that comes up today is like this person, these people are reaching a place now where avoiding responsibility is simply not an option anymore. And that's very, very strong. In other words, the scales are fully rebalancing, especially as this anger keeps coming up. It's kind of like your psyche recognizing that rebalancing is happening on both sides now. So as the anger keeps popping up for you, it's kind of like energetically shedding their responsibility back to them. Like you're putting up shields in a way with this anger, and you're fully focused on the truth and what you really are responsible for and what you're going to be responsible for moving forward. And so this anger is almost like protection in that way. It is moving the energy back to them as it needs to go. All right, but here is the plot twist. You decided through leaving that you were actively choosing now what matters to you. In the past, you may have been perhaps overwhelmed by these people or this person so much that you couldn't truly decide of anything that matters to you and is important to you. And that is one of like the most critical pieces of our lives, is deciding what's important to us, or life decides it for us. We have to do that. And this person really blocked that ability for you. You were way too busy shouldering all this responsibility for this person's actions. Like them hurting you was your responsibility to bear almost. You were using almost all of your energy power to fix the situation, to hold this weight for them. But now, by choosing what matters, you are kind of like putting down that weight. And from an energy standpoint, you're by default deciding what matters to you by putting down that weight. Even if it doesn't feel clear, even if you're like, well, Salt, I don't really have something I'm focused on. It doesn't matter. You put down their energy. So now by default, you're saying that is not what I'm actively choosing, and you have more room in your field to focus on what you are choosing. And so as a direct result, I see the karma here is this person, when you put down this weight, has shifted to your old role now. The roles are reversed. Now that someone isn't carrying this load, this energy for them, they are carrying it for themselves, for others, to try to replicate this energy by entirely the wrong way, since they aren't conscious of what is really missing to begin with. Is they're just kind of like moving into the first thing that populates for them. This person's guides are kind of like asking for direct responsibility of their hurt to you. They're asking for acknowledgement to face that fact and heal through it And it's very important that they acknowledge it, because without doing so, they can't really heal. And since they are choosing to ignore it, the way that they have to ignore it is by fully distracting in order to keep them from facing it. So the way that their distraction is playing out is they are now forcing themselves into roles you used to play for them and doing it for others. And you could have seen like a little bit of this in your relationship or in your connection with them, but it's full force now, meaning this person is like literally double downing on responsibility for people in their lives, like family members, friends, whoever this is, whoever these people are, it doesn't matter to them. They just want anything. They're like taking full responsibility and ownership for others in a way to distract what spirit is asking them to be aware of what they truly done to you and why, and face that fact. So the karma or the plot twist is you were once the person who didn't have the space to decide what mattered to you because you were holding this person up yourself energetically. And now this person is being asked to recognize what you held for them and why. And instead of doing that, they are holding others just like you did for them in the past. They're kind of like mimicking your energy, thinking that's going to heal and fix the errors of their mistakes. And I think what's really important in this message is spirit emphasizing if you don't decide what matters to you, the world will decide for you. Spirit keeps saying that, keeps presenting that. And in your past, you couldn't actively choose this very important thing because someone took up all of the space in your energy field, in your consciousness, in your decisions. And now you're able to focus on what matters to you. Even if you haven't picked it, you still have this space, and that's the first step. But I see some of you might be actively picking and actively deciding, even if it's not perfect at this time. So whether or not you want this person that hurt you or did these bad things to suffer isn't really relevant to the message, because it is their own doing. That is the karmic movement here. It has nothing to do with your wants or desires for them. It's not that you wish them harm. It's just the energy is being rebalanced. So accountability is being pushed on them. And I see the more that they try to ignore facing, the harder it's going to be to shoulder this space for others that they're taking on to an extreme right now. And the karma is, by continuously shouldering what you shouldered in the past, they will never be able to find what truly matters to them. They will never be able to find themselves. And that sounds kind of cliche, but it's really important because you got to experience what it was like to not have anything that matters to you and to find it through this experience. And that is the karma. So your only job now is to keep choosing what matters to you. The universe is going to be handling the rest. Here is take 2 of our outro because we've outgrown take 1. This last part is for newbies. If you're new here with me now, hi. I need to inform you that leaving comments helps me channel more effectively. Think of this as an energetic nudge where I can pick up on and be able to sort through what you need to hear easier. This doesn't mean you have to like share some grand intimate detail about your life in the comment section for everyone to see. They can just be simple energetic nudges to feel something from you. It just helps me channel better. But if you're nudging me a lot and maybe I'm not picking up or channeling for you, I just want to clarify, it's not like a line where you're waiting for your turn because others are being more prioritized over you. It's more of divine timing. The message will find you and direct when it's needed for you. This has nothing to do with how powerful your energy is to me. I may feel it very strongly, but it may not be the time to tell you something. It's all about timing. And then finally, I want to say that my neutral positioning to responses might be jarring to some, but this is really how I protect the energy I channel. I want you all to know that I literally read every single one. They are all so honored. I'm actually a little bit insane about reading everything. Every single word is read here. That is my main priority. The way I actually honor your comments and nudges is through the quality of my readings, not through responding to some or cherry picking those who get hearts today and likes today. You are all equally being prioritized here, not a few here and there randomly. So thank you all for being here. I love you probably more than makes sense for some strangers online that I've never met in the physical world. But here we are feeling like we've known each other for our whole lives. So cheers, friends.